All right. Thanks for everyone for turning up tonight to this webinar. Today we're going to spend a bit of time going through trading and the functionality of being able to trade within the Bourse Analyser software. Basically, what you're going to see, how to access it, how to amend it, how to cancel it, everything in here. That'll be like the first part of the actual webinar. The second part of it, I'm going to go through and answer all your questions. So remember, if you've got any questions, put it down in the chat section in there. I'll go through it with you, and I'll show you how to do it all on the screen. Right, so the first thing we're going to start off with in here is you can see I'm actually logged into the Bourse Analyzer. I'm actually in the test environment right now. So that means I can actually place trades directly into the market and there'd be no implications. So I guess the only real downside of that is some of the data is a bit out of whack because it's the test market. So that shouldn't really matter too much because we're out of market anyway. So the first section I'm going to start with in the layout, I guess we'll call it, is in the account section. I want to go through the accounts summary. So if I go to accounts, it's under the accounts menu. You see I've got accounts there. This basically gives you an overview of all your trading accounts. So if you've got multiple trading accounts, they'll be listed here. And I guess the really important section for you guys to know is what name on the account is, your CMT balance, and your available balance. So earlier today when I was popping a couple of test orders on here, I had a CMT balance of 0 because this is a test environment, it's not really a problem. So I was doing a couple of test orders, which I'll show you later on in the presentation what it actually looks like in the system. That's why when you see my balance is a negative value, don't be too concerned. Okay. So the account summary is really the driver for all the other windows that we set up within the trading part of the software. Like with your watch list and your charts and your depth and all that, it basically dictates what information you're going to see. Okay, so now we've got that in there. I'm going to go through and start adding the account, so equity holdings in here. So if I go up to accounts across the top, and you'll see in that drop down menu, I've got equity holdings. So I click on there. I'm just going to move this to the middle of the screen so it's nice and easy to see. Okay. So you can see in the top right corner, it's my John Citizen account. If you've got multiple accounts, obviously, they'll be listed below there. If you just click on the name, you'll get a drop down. You'll be able to select whichever account you want. Same goes if you actually click on the account in the account summary, it'll automatically update into your account holdings screen. Same with your options positions. Same with your orders. Okay. So next item along we got is the arrow there. So like in our watch list and all our trades, and especially more the trade history, etc., you've got a little download function. So this will create basically a little Excel document. If I just have a click on that, you'll see in the bottom left corner there, it's got equity holdings. So it does a nice little Excel there. And just a way you can do a backup for yourself. So you can see there I've got my security, my description. So I've got ANZ, BHP, and Westpac. Now the Westpac is an order I did earlier today. So that's why you see a lot of the values haven't actually come up in the registered units and the total cost. It's only got the market price of purchase them at, the market value, and obviously no profit and loss because I only bought them today, so you can't really see how they're performing historically. So I'll just close that. I don't want to save that. Okay. So all within here, you got all the same information I was just talking about before, but it also goes through and actually gives you a market value and a profit and loss to see how they're actually performing. So obviously the Westpac that I bought earlier today doesn't really have a profit and loss because it hasn't finished consolidating the pricing for the day. So when it goes through and actually starts trading tomorrow, well, I'll actually be able to see if it's either up or down as well, the profit and loss. So that's basically the equity holdings. want to go through and start adding the options positions. So this is for all your derivatives. Okay. So just like your equity holdings, it's driven by your account number, get your export function. And this instance here, I actually put some TLS, some Telstra today. So you'll see here I bought contract size is 100. The exercise price here is $5.75. The expiry date is the 28th of March. And it's a put, American style. And obviously, because there's no real pricing on there, because it hasn't updated, it's in the test market, that hasn't populated as yet. So equity holdings, options, positions, very similar. They just show the two different types of orders you can do within your Bourse Analyser software. Okay, so next section I'm going to open up for us, which is probably as important as these two, these especially equity holdings and options positions, is open orders. So if I go to trading across the top here, and in your open orders, that will add a window here called the orders. So right now in the top right corner it says open. This means the orders that are still in the market. If I click on open, I'll get a drop down menu and I can go to completed, and that will show you the orders that I've done today. So if I look down here and I go, oh, hang on, this is the Westpac that I bought earlier today. So I'm just going to drag that down a little bit. So you can see when I actually purchased it. So I bought it today on the 24th at about 3:45, just before the market closed. And it's got all the different bits of information, which I'll go through further on later on in the actual video, just to show you where the information is and how you can modify it yourself. So we'll just jump back to your open orders here. Okay, so this is where a lot of the value, I guess the buttons across the bottom will start becoming available to you. So across the bottom here, you got create. So this is basically where we use to create our orders. So there's many ways in the Bourse Analyser you can create an order from scratch. So here's using the create button is just one way of doing it. So I may as well walk you through that right now. So we'll go to create right here. Okay. So this is going to bring up an order pad for us. And within this order pad, because we've selected no values in here, it's just a white and it's default. So one of the first things you need to see in here is, or select in here, is the account. So you see at the top left corner here, it's a little arrow. So if I click on there, I can just choose from the list of all the possible accounts that I have linked to this login. So in my case, I've just got the one account, so I just left click to select that. Okay. Next, we're going to decide which side we're going to do. Are we going to do a buy or a sell order? Obviously, unless you're holding the stock, you can't really do a sell. Same goes for your options. So in this instance, we're going to do a buy order. So if I click on buy, you'll see how it goes a nice blue color. And if I go sell, it goes red. So that's an easy way of understanding what you're actually looking at and what side you're doing, basically. So I'm going to do a buy order with you today. And next thing we're going to do is select our security code. So let's buy some Telstra. So we can either go by typing in the code, say TLS, and we get a couple of different options here, but we'll select the top option, which is just the stock. So TLS.XAU. So the section that's highlighted in the blue, was left click on that, and that starts pre-filling the order pad for us. And you see automatically that it's put some, it's brought up the market depth at the bottom there. So as I was saying earlier, because this is the test market, the levels of the basically the depth aren't that correct, but it doesn't really matter for what we're doing. So we'll soldier on there. You can also go in here in the security and actually type the company name. So I type in Telstra, and it brings up the same result except for that FPO, which we don't want to worry about. So we'll just go back to select that. Hang on. Okay. No, so I'm obviously not selecting it that way. I'll just try again. No, it doesn't like it, so I'll just close that down. I'll just try again. I'll just go to create. I'll select my account. I'm going to do it on a buy side, so I go TLS. Okay, now we got market types here. Currently, within the Bourse Analyser, we're only allowing you to trade on the ASX market right now. Currently, we're testing the ability for you to trade in the Chi-X market. But what people don't know about the Chi-X market is it's just an alternative for you to be able to buy the same stocks that you like. So all the big stocks, top 200, top 300, are all available in the Chi-X market. It just gives you a better opportunity to buy that same stock at a potentially better price. And just out of about 20 to 30% of the volume that goes through on the buys and sells in the market full stop go through the Chi-X market. So it just opens your opportunities to get the stock at a better price. Okay, so right now we're selected as XAU, which is the combined ASX and Chi-X market. You won't be able to see that in the system as yet. You'll only have the option for XASX. The XAU is basically the best. So if you want to just buy TLS on an XAU market, it will search to do ASX and Chi-X to find out, to basically get you the best price on there. So we'll just select XASX for the moment. Now we can select our units. So we're going to buy, let's buy 10,000 units. Okay. Now we can go to the actual order type. So it'll default to the limit order here. So that allow us to set the price that we want to execute on. We do have other types here, so market to limit. And if you want more information on those, I can send you information on the order types and how they're determined. So I'll just leave it as a limit order. So because I want to set my own price, I'm just looking over here, and I can see the ask is at 371, and I can see a quantity of 107,000 in there. So what I'm going to do, because I want to put my order into the market, then basically nudge it up to get it filled, I'm going to put it at 369. Okay, so we'll be able to see it here, basically within the depth. We'll be able to see our order. So we can basically have a look at it, amend it, and then get it filled whenever we want. So the next section along there is called validity. Okay, this basically says how long do you want the order to stay in the market. Do you want it to be good for just the day? Good for a date, so you can set a date range when you want it to expire. Good till cancel. Immediate or cancel, or fill or kill. Like with your order types, I can go through those in another time and explain those a bit more to you. But for now, I'm just going to set it to good till cancel, so it gives us a bit of time to play with it. And next thing along in the top right corner, we've got the calculate function. So this will give us an overview of what actually the transaction is going to cost us. So if I hit calculate, okay. So see here it populates the actual trade value. That's just the cost for you to actually just buy the 10,000 units. So it's $36,900 plus the brokerage cost, and that will give us the estimated value on there. Okay. So next step along, we probably want to do is submit the order. So this will just when I submit, it's going to give me a confirmation of what I'm going to buy at the price and the stock. So I want to hit submit. You'll see I'm going to buy TLS.XAU, which is fine. I want to buy 10,000 of them at 369, so $3.69, because remember this is all in cents, and it's going to cost me 36,932 and 98 cents. Okay, and if I'm happy with that, I'll just hit the confirm button here. Okay, so within every software, when you trade on the market, there's what we call vetting rules set up. So these vetting rules go through and say, okay, how can we make it as safe as possible for the client, for the broking company, and basically within the ASIC rules to make sure it's safe for everyone. So basically no one's stealing, no one's ripping off sort of thing. So there's a set of what we call vetting rules to make sure when you're placing an order into the market, it's basically in everyone's best interest. So in this instance, it's saying, Ben, you don't have enough cash. It's going to cost you $39,000, and you've got negative $8,500. So there's a couple of options here. We can actually reject it. We go, no, I've lost the plot, or I can accept it, and they'll get sent to our trading desk, where they'll go, oh, there's an issue with the available cash on Ben's account. I'll approve that. They can override it. So everything's what we call cash vetted. So I'm going to reject that. Okay, and I'm just going to try a variation on here, just to show you a couple of the other error messages in here. So I'm going to change the pricing on here, so it's well and truly out of the market, and that will show you a different error report or warning report in the system. So I'm going to change it down to $3, which is about 20, 25, 30% out of the market. I'll calculate that, and that's updated the pricing on there as well. So I'll submit that. So 10,000 at 300, fantastic. I'll hit confirm. All right, so we've got some different warning messages here. So we can see the market price is 371. So I'm doing an order at $3, which is more than 2% out of the market price. That's just a warning, and it's more than five price steps. So our price step is, because it's at $3.71, it's $3.70, $3.69, $3.68, $3.67, etc. That's what we'll call a price step. So I'm going to accept that, and that's going to get put into the market. So we should see it pop into my open orders. Okay, so there we go. Straight away, you'll see on the right side here, you can see my TLS order there. So I'm just going to drag it up there. I'll just resize that so we can see the full information of it. All right. So you can see I've got the TLS order selected there. And you can see I've actually, I just got a warning there from the system to say I've put an order into the market. That's fine. So you can see I've got in the market right now. I've got 10,000, wanted to buy 10,000 TLS at 300. It's got my order type, which is a limit order. It's got the time when I did it, time and date. So it was at 6:20 on the 24th. It's got the validity, my account number, and the status. So let's just put this all in perspective right now. So if I just resize this a little bit, okay, and if I open up a depth, okay, so currently you see an order there at 10,000 at 300, which I think is my order, but I'm not really sure of it. So what I'm going to do is in your depth here, up the top right corner, you see where it says depth there? If I left click on that, I can go into something called detail, which is market detail instead of market depth, which will give me a breakdown of the amount of orders in the market, what price steps there are, and the amount of volume. So if I click on detail, I'll just jump back for 1 second. You can see here at $370 there, I've got 13 people at that particular price point with a total of 157,541 total volume, okay? Which matches up to here on the other side, which is eerily familiar. So someone's obviously doing some big orders in there. So obviously that's partially it's updating a bit there. So let's go back to detail here. Okay. So I can see here on the left here, the venue where these orders are getting placed. So right now it's the XASX. When you look at this in the market, you're actually going to see CHIA for the Chi-X market and XASX. And that just determines which market they got placed into, the venue. Okay. Next thing along we see is the XREF, which is your reference code. So if I go back over to my orders, I can see, oh, hang on, that XREF there is D152, 426, okay? And there's a 3 at the end. We can't see it. But if I scroll down a bit there, I go, hang on, there's my order right there. That's my D152, 4263. That's where I can see, 10,000 in the quantity and the bid price of 300. So now I can see where I am in the market. I go, oh, hang on, there's all these people above me. I want to get my order filled now. I'm getting sick of waiting around for it. So if I go back up to here on the left, and I see, okay, there's my TLS order, right there. All right, I want to get my order filled now. So I'm going to go in through and amend my order. So now you see across the bottom here, now that I've got that order selected, you see there's a couple other buttons that have lit up. You've got the clone function, which when I click on that, it'll just open up a pre-filled order pad with exactly the same details as before, and it'll just give me an opportunity to make a copy of this exact same order. Of course, you can go through and modify the settings in there. It's really up to you. It just works exactly the same as the previous setup in there. So I'll just close that. Then we've got something called amend. So I go, all right, I want to amend my order because I want to get filled straight away. I'm going to bump up my price so it's at $3.71, so 371. So I'm going to click on amend. And you see it's brought up my order pad here, where you can see it's a buy. The security, it's all pre-filled in there. I can't change it because we're using the amend function here. The amount of units, which is 10,000. The order type, the price, and the validity. So I can see my order. I know that's my order there, the 10,000 at $3. So I'm going to amend that because I want to get it filled straight away. So I can see there's 172,000 approximately at 371. Okay, I'll calculate that. Oh yeah, that seems all right. Now I'm going to amend that order, and that should get filled pretty much straight away. So if we just keep an eye over here in the orders here for TLS, that should pretty much disappear straight away. Oh yeah, I accept that. I've got no money. That's fine. All right. So you see, did you see there that TLS disappeared straight away? The my order here in my detailed depth has disappeared. If I go back up to my normal depth, it's down 10,000 quantity available at $3.71. So where did my order go? I just got a confirmation there, which I'll drag over. This is my test environment. It says, order TLS, 10,000 at $3.71, completed, filled. So that order's been filled, and that's all done. So now if I go over to my closed orders in the top right corner, so I click on open, I can see completed orders, and bang, I can see there TLS. That order's been basically filled and it's closed. Okay. So that's a basic walkthrough of how to place an order into the market, amend it, and then basically get it filled and what you'll see. So now I'll go through and I'll just show you how to sell an order. So I'm going to go through here and I've got some BHP. So we see that up here in the equity holdings here. Because I think, yeah, I've had a really good run with BHP, I want to start selling it off. So I can, if I right click on BHP, you'll see a couple options come up there. You got place sell order and add sell and leg sell. Add leg sell is more for your options, which we'll go through a little bit later in the video. So if I just go to place sell order here, I'll left click on that. See how it's opened up the same order pad. This time it's selected my account. This time it's a sell order, obviously. It's pre-filled that it's BHP. It's made the assumption that it's going to be 1,000 units. Okay. It's defaulted to a limit order. and it's got the price there. So let's go through. I'm going to do only 500 at the moment. Okay. And I'm going to put mine well above the market. So I'm going to see it on the ask side over here. So I'm going to put it at, say, 3,100, okay? Just so we can see it at the top here. Okay, so it's going to be 3,100 and a band of units is 500. So I'm going to put 500 into the market. I'll calculate that. Okay. All right, one sec. I just need to select the correct market because I've limited myself only to the ASX market. So that was a good probably warning for you guys. I'll bring it back up. Okay. So because that was defaulted to the XAU, which basically goes to hit the ASX and the Chi-X market, I've permissioned myself only to be able to trade on the ASX market. So I'm going to get these warning messages. This is an error. This is basically a fatal error. It says, cannot pass go, cannot collect $200. You can't progress past here. So in here, it says you're not authorized to trade for this order type and destination. Destination is going to be the Chi-X as well. And the resting venue for best order, which is best means it hits ASX and Chi-X, is closed. So the ASX market's closed at the moment, which is absolutely fine because it's 6:30. So that's fine. So I'll just close that. And I'm just going to change that market to XASX. Submit that. Yeah, it's still closed. Okay. So the market's closed, so I can't actually sell it, which is a bit strange because I could buy stock on there. Doesn't really matter. It works exactly the same as what you do when you're doing a buy order. Okay. It'll get placed into your open orders. So if I switch that back to open, okay. And yeah, instead of the buy side there, it'll be red and it says sell side. Okay. So there's a couple of different ways you can place your orders within the system. I'll just quickly show you the within the options, which is a really good one to have a look at. So I'll just quickly open up a new workspace here. I'll go to market data and I'll bring up a watch list. So I'm just going to go to the top 20. Okay. There we go. And I'll go to market data, and this time I'm going to go to derivatives because I want to have a look at the options. So I'm just going to bring up an option for, say, April, okay? Okay, so we got that there. Scroll down a bit. Okay, this TLS F97, which is a 26th of April put, looks fantastic. I'm going to use it. I'm going to basically buy into it. So if I right click onto it, you'll see how I've got a couple of options here. You've got place buy order, place sell order, add leg buy, add leg sell, and quote request. Quote request puts a request into the market to see what's the latest price on there. Create buy order is it will open up the default order pad. So if I do that, so it brings up the account and it's pre-filled the actual security in there. And all I have to do is go, okay, I'll put my John Citizen in there. I want to buy 10 units. So remember, these ones, I think they're shares per contract. So we see the column here, SPC. That means there's going to be 100 shares per contract. So I'm really buying 1,000 there. I'll put at 1, just because I'm testing. Okay. Now, when I calculate this, it won't be able to give me a full calculation on here because with options, the brokerage and the estimated value is not 100% on there because you don't really know until you've actually placed in the market. And I hit submit. It'll give me a confirmation. And yeah, since the market's closed, it's giving me different error messages as it's what we call derivatives order. So all derivatives orders by default with our system go through to our trading desk where they can be verified. I'm getting a lack of funds warning, which is absolutely fine. Another warning that it's an exchange traded option. So all our derivatives and exchange traded options, they're separate rules. They must go through the trading desk and unable to determine indicative value of option, basically because it's a test market and no one's really looked at it. So as it's got a red error there, it won't progress. But that's okay. Beyond that, it's exactly the same as your equity order there. It goes into your open orders, like I did here earlier today with my TLS, where I bought on the 28th of March. It'll show you all those details in here. Okay, if I want to amend it, I select it. It has all the details in here. I amend the order and place it into the market. So I can see my one order there. I'm the only person interested in this TLS D18 because, yeah, it's the test market. So I'm not too worried about that. So it's all good. Okay, so that's the overview of placing, amending. If we want to cancel an order, so this CBA order here. So I wanted to buy 100 units of Commonwealth Bank. I've just changed my mind on it. I'll go, no, I think that's way too much. I can either remember amend it or I can actually cancel the order here. So if I click on cancel, okay, it brings up the cancel order pad here, confirms the security, the amount of units, the price. And I go, no, changed my mind. I want to get rid of it. Cancel the order. Of course, because I'm out of the. I should really do this during the market hours. It would really make a lot more sense to you. But because it's out of the market time period, it's basically a cancel the order. So it won't let me amend it or change it during these hours. Okay, so I'll just close that one. You should see here within the system where no, it doesn't have it. I thought I did a test order today. Oh, yeah, see, good for day. So if I did a purchase of TLS stock here and I put good for day, at the end of the day, if it hasn't filled, it will go automatically into your completed orders as basically a closed or unfilled order because the validity of the time period has passed. So that's just a really important one to be aware of within the system, especially when you're setting your time periods in the system there. Okay, and let's have a quick look at confirmations. So I'm just going to drag that up there. And if I go up to here, up to accounts across the top, and I go to confirmations, okay. Now, at the end of the day, I'll get most likely tomorrow morning, where we get a morning upload around 7 o'clock in the morning. It'll have a list of all the confirmations that I've basically order confirmations in here. So if I did one previously in the last couple of weeks, because I haven't done orders in here in a couple of months, it'll have a list of all the orders I've done in the market. So it'll have that today I've bought TLS, I've bought WBC, and I'll show you the actual amounts of the orders and how much they went through. It's very similar to all the other screens. It'll just give you a bit of a breakdown on there. And along those lines, we can go through and have a look at transactions. And that's very similar as well. That will have that information populated in there because it's test market. It hasn't updated as yet. Okay. So that's just a little brief overview. Along with the actual Bourse Analyser software within the application, if you place an order directly through your Bourse mobile app as well, and if you haven't had a look at your Bourse mobile app yet, you can get that from. So this is basically available to every client that has a Bourse Analyser login. It's no additional cost. So the same details you use to log into your Bourse Analyser, you can use to log into your Bourse mobile app. It's completely free. You can download it from either the Google Play Store or the iPhone App Store. Let me have a look, see if I've got a link for it, or I can give you a bit of an overview. All right. So this is the Google Play Store. Obviously, I can't do this because I'm on my computer, a work computer, but on my Android phone, when I bring up this page, so normally I just search for Bourse data, I think it is. Okay, so it searches through all the apps, and then you're looking for the one that's got the black bull and bear. Okay, just like here in the first result, you left click on it. Okay, and then basically you hit install to download it. Okay, and then it'll have a once it's installed, it'll ask you to log in. So remember, use your same username, your same password that you use to log into your Bourse Analyzer, and all your trading accounts, everything will be linked up in here. So whatever orders you do within your Bourse Analyzer, you'll see them in the Bourse Mobile, and vice versa. So it's really integrated in there. We can even set up alerts within this in the mobile app, and I'll go through the mobile app in another webinar. But everything is really synced in together. So you can get an overview of what's going on in the market and make a decision on the fly, and they'll be able to talk to each other. Same goes for the Apple version. That's in the iTunes store. Just like in the Bourse, just like in the Android, it's the same icon. So you're looking for the black bull and bear here. Yeah, good question. Oh yeah, it's only available on iOS devices, which is fine. I think if we go for Bourse data and one word, let's see if I can spell the name of the product. All right, let's try it with a space. Let's see if that does anything for us. And I know on the phone it's a lot easier to get because it brings up this Bourse one. I've tested on it before. So yeah, there you go. Great app, fantastic. More of those reviews are appreciated. So, so definitely, yeah, feel free to install the app, run it on your systems. It's no extra cost. The only issue you might possibly see is if you're logged into your mobile app, it'll kick you out of the Bourse Analyzer, and vice versa. If you log into your Bourse Analyzer, you're still logged into your mobile app, it'll disconnect you from that session. Yeah, you can only have one login at a time. So that's about all I really want to cover through in this webinar about the trading. I'll probably will do another one in the near future where I'll do it through market hours and you can actually see a bit more of the ebb and flow of the software and how it works. Now it's really open to you to ask me some questions about the software and tell me what you need help with, what we'd like to see in the software, and how can I show you it. So just put your questions across the bottom. I'll just give you a minute or so to start typing them in here. Is there anything in particular you guys would like to see within the software where I could show you? Happy to do a bit of a demo on other things like the analyzer, maybe one you want me to go through with you, or more charting tools, fundamentals. There's plenty of things I can go through. There's one thing I've been showing a few clients over the last couple of days that might help with logging into the software. Is basically with the login page here. You don't always have to log in through particularly this page here. There is another login you can use. So I'm going to forcefully just make it fail to log into the software. Okay, because a lot of clients have asked me, oh, how can I log into the software without typing in my username and password? So this is more of an unbranded website here. And you see it has a function up here where I can basically create this as one of my favorites. So if I go across the top here, okay, and I bookmark this page, okay, so it's actually called Bourse Analyser instead of the logmein.bourse data shortcut here. If I save that there, now I'm just going to go find that 1 second. I've got a few there. So if I just left click to highlight that and I drag it up there, okay, if I click on there, it'll bring me to this page. When I go to log in, it should prompt me to ask to save my username and password. And a lot of clients I've just gone in here and set this as basically one of their home pages for the software. Obviously my one, because I've used it that many times, it hasn't prompted me for it. But in the top right corner, it'll have a pop up that goes, do you want to save your username and password? If you hit yes, basically that means you'll be able to, you won't have to type your username and password in anymore. You just click on the Bourse Analyser here, and it'll basically log you in each time. So that might be an option for you guys. There's a little shortcut to get into the actual application. Any questions I can help you out with? So just as a reminder, we got a fair few new updates coming through in the application. One being the pre-alert indicators for the charts. They will be in the next couple of weeks available within the software. So you'll just be able to go across the top here in your chart. I'll just minimize that. Okay, so in your studies, they should be available in when you add them across the top here. So you'll be able to add those to your charts in your daily, all the way through to intraday periods and up to your monthly. Also, we'll be able to have those in the analyzer. So if I go to analyze across the top, okay, and I'll log into this screen here, they'll also be available in the available formulas in here. So yeah, there's a lot of things coming within the Bourse Analyzer over the next weeks and months. Yeah, please do send through your feedback, what you would like in the software, what's missing, what would make your life easier. Also, how could I cover it for you to make your life a lot easier within the application? Because the easier you find the software to use, the more you'll get out of it. Okay, so if there's no questions here, feel free to email them to me. Because if you don't have the questions now, I can actually answer them anytime on a following up webinars. So just remember, if you go to the Bourse Data website just up here, you go to contact across the top here. Okay, we scroll down, just put your details in here, subject, questions for webinar, and just put your question in here, send it through to myself or Tristan, and the next upcoming webinar, probably most likely next week, I'll go through, answer your questions, and show you how to use it within the actual application. If you have any questions about the software or just need help with it, please feel free to give us a call on, where's our phone number? Right there, 1300 363 766. That's 1300 363 766. As always, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to doing more of these webinars and look forward to hearing your feedback. Okay, thank you very much.